There are a couple of other things that are very interesting about this new Model S though. It's the fact that Tesla hasn't really shouted about some of the improvements. This feels like a completely different car to the one that I drove 4 years ago. It's actually shed 100 kilos overall over the last model, and that's thanks to a battery with better energy density, so there are actually less cells for the same amount of range. And tricks like using a strut brace as the volume and the reservoir for the air suspension. It's clever stuff, and Tesla just doesn't shout about it.
Also guys, just a quick channel announcement. There will be no video from me on this coming Monday or Tuesday. I have to get some testing done to see how much damage this parasite has done. So my next upload hopefully will be Wednesday of next week. Welcome to Electrified, it's your host, Dylan Loomis. You may recall Tesla's price cuts earlier in January this year. Well, that re-qualified the Model 3 for the IZEV incentives in Canada, so just a quick check-in. In March, deliveries across all brands reached 9.7 thousand during the month, more than the level in January and February combined. So of course, the Model 3 is driving a significant portion of that number, but just wanted to see how this unfolds in the months ahead now that the Model 3 qualifies for these again. If you guys missed it, there were 3 original Tesla Roadsters found in China in shipping containers with no miles on them. They are currently being auctioned off right now, so I just wanted to share. The latest bid is $500,000 for all 3, but apparently the seller is open to splitting them up. You can email your bids to ev@gruber.com, but this will all be below just in case somebody's interested. Tesla has now raised the price of the Model S and X in China, but not just China, South Korea and Germany as well. Model S and X are not being delivered in South Korea yet, but it sounds like in the next month or 2 deliveries will begin. Across all of those regions, the average price increase for the Model S and X was about $2,750, or roughly 2 to 3% of the purchase price. In tandem with the price increase, Tesla is also now offering new Model S or X buyers 3 years of free supercharging. Here's a quick summary of those changes specifically in the Chinese market. Speaking of said market, Tesla Chan reporting and sharing an image of Giga Shanghai adding some more solar panels, which is always nice, but more importantly, they said Shanghai to resume production available after May 5th after the holiday shutdown. Zooming out to the broader NEV market for the month of April, CPCA is estimating the number to be 600,000 wholesale sales, unchanged from March and up 114% year over year. Just a fun fact, in March there were 11 manufacturers making up for almost 81% of all wholesale sales. More importantly though, year to date in China, wholesale sales are up 43% year over year. Remember this 43% number because we're going to have a look at Teslas in a moment. The CPCA also said that the price war in China's auto industry receded in April, easing consumer wait-and-see sentiment and releasing previously suppressed demand. Here are the numbers broken out by brand, and you can see Tesla for April, the wholesale number, which is both domestic and export, 75.8 thousand. Here's that data plugged into the table, and we'll get the actual breakdown in the days ahead. This is the best first month of the quarter for this wholesale figure. The previous high watermark for the first month of the quarter was 71.7 thousand back October last year, and in the same month last year, the number was actually 1.5 thousand when it was shut down for COVID. And those Tesla numbers I mentioned we'd come back to, well, here they are, and yes, I did check these numbers. Year to date in China, Tesla sales are up 66% from the same time period last year. This includes the first 4 months of the year, so a bigger sample set than just 1 month. So for the same time period, we have the overall NEV market up 43% year over year, and Tesla's sales up 66% year over year. So zooming out, everything looks very good to me. One more Tesla China item, we have Chris Zhang tweeting out China's official media put out a new article called Into the Tesla Town, saying that Tesla Speed has become an economic landmark in the new area of Shanghai Lingyang. So relations between Tesla and the Chinese government seem to be very strong. When it comes to the Midnight Cherry Red over in Europe, from Drive Tesla Canada, Tesla will be hosting a special event to release this vehicle in Parsdorf, Germany. Sounds like this event will run most of the day with food trucks and some other things to do as well. Responding to Whole Mars, Elon said version 11.4 is excellent. Several days of driving to random pin drop locations in Austin. 0 safety critical interventions. It's being reported that this Korean company has won an order from Tesla for Cybertruck A, B, and C pillars, but there may be some conflicting reporting, some things lost in translation, so just tread cautiously. But if this is accurate, the order could be in the neighborhood of about $300 million for the Cybertruck. They mentioned at one part this is a 3-year deal between Tesla and this company, but then later they say the contract period goes until 2028. So you could think, well, maybe the contract doesn't start until 2025, but then they say this company rented a factory in Monterrey, Mexico, where they will produce Cybertruck filler parts, so maybe that's separate from the actual pillar contract, and they're producing those parts there next month. Either way though, even if the dates or amounts are slightly off in this early reporting, if there's any truth to this deal being done, of course a good thing for Cybertruck production later this year. This sounds like a pretty cool initiative from Tesla. They have this Get to Know Your Tesla for Australia and New Zealand. It's going to be a live virtual introduction to teach people about their new cars, led by Tesla's product team of experts, where people can submit questions in real time. It looks like right now Tesla has 2 different session dates for this live event, the first one being May 18th. Polestar is going on a little marketing spree with its Polestar 3 for its upcoming release in the United States later this year. I'll include this link below so you can see all of the different locations and where it will have the Polestar 3 for people to actually take a look at. The writing has been on the wall for this one for some time, but Lordstown Motors now saying it expects to end production of the Endurance pickup truck in the near future, very shortly after it just began. They said, to date, we have not identified a strategic partner for the Endurance. To the extent we don't identify one, we anticipate production of the Endurance will cease in the near future. Why? Well, Lordstown said it has extremely limited ability to raise capital in the current market environment. Lucid is set to post its first quarter financials this coming Monday, but now they're opening up some questions for investors like Tesla did and have a look at the most popular one. With over 14,000 votes in first place by far, an investor asked, "Peter, you have said I like to underpromise and like to overdeliver. When will we see under-promising and over-delivering? It has been the complete opposite so far." There are definitely going to be some other hard questions for Lucid on Monday. Here's that BYD Global Expansion we've been talking about. BYD just announced 6 dealer stores in the next 6 months in Ecuador, where they'll have the Han, the Yuan, and the Dolphin. You can find me on Twitter at DylanLoomis22. Hope you guys have a wonderful and a safe weekend. Please like the video if you did, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.